Thank you to our sponsor, EJ Cards, a small but motivated company specializing in cards. EJ Cards believe passionately in great bargains and excellent service, which is why they commit themselves to give you the best of both. If you're looking for something new, you're in the right place. EJ Cards strive to be industrious and innovative, offering customers something they want, putting their desires at the top of the priority list. Find EJ Cards at www.ejcards.com.au or shop 394 to 398 Middleborough Road, Blackburn, Victoria, and also find them on Facebook. Thank you very much, EJ Cards, for sponsoring us.
Welcome everybody to episode 57 of You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We are your hosts, Adam Amy, joined as always by Russell Gibson. Russell, how are you?
I've got cough, but other than that, I'm doing pretty well, to be honest.
I was going to say you sound a little under the weather. It's maybe some eggnog will fix that up.
That's my brother's theory. He reckons I didn't drink enough alcohol on Thursday night.
You got to get into the Christmas spirits. That's what I think. Vodka, scotch, you name it, get into it. Yeah, it's been an interesting week. Christmas is in the air, of course, but as far as the hobby goes, some interesting times in the NBA, I think.
Yeah, look, I think the NBA season for me this year has been so... I think the only word I can really think of is just fantastic. I think the quality of the games has been really good, and I think there's been a lot of sort of skillful basketball on display, and then there's some teams that are just coming into their own at the moment. The Celtics are really playing well, and the Bucks are, back at full strength. I think they're still working things out, but they just look like an absolute machine. And then, of course, there's the surprise teams of the season, being like the Kings is probably the big one for me, and then
my big surprise is the Pelicans.
Yeah, I think we should
healthy Pelicans.
We probably should do a Zion watch today, to be honest. Like that dunk that he did on the Suns at the end of the game, that was just... I love that stuff because there was a lot of pushback to say that, he should have let the ball run out and, blah, blah, blah. But like he clearly did that as an FU.
That was a statement.
Yeah, and I can't wait till the next game that they play together, and then hopefully they'll meet in the playoffs too, and that, he'll stick it to him again. So it's just, it's a really, really good season. And so I say just keep the good times coming.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, boy. All right, so we're going to add Zion Watch to the run sheet.
I think we should.
We've got a bit of a show today. We've got some interesting things to look through.
Yeah.
Should we kick things off with a listener question?
Yeah, look, I think we just get straight into it. Lachlan Blunt, thank you so much for all of your support. And then also to your... It's a really good question. So basically, to summarize it, I won't read through the whole thing. He's just asking, what should I collect if I'm going to collect Reggie Miller? And what should I collect if I collect Kobe Bryant? So the way we divided it up, you'll do Kobe because you're the Kobe resident expert, I think. And I did Reggie, and I'm not going to lie to the audience. I'm not a Reggie Miller connoisseur. So for me, this was a really fun exercise just to sort of do and, get my head around it. Yeah. And if you are more of a connoisseur than I am, please, give me feedback if I've, missed things or, there's a particular card that, you disagree on. I'd love to hear your feedback in that space. So I started it off really easy. And I think the best way to say that is his PSA 10 rookie card. So it's a Fleer card. It's from 1988. The really interesting thing for me about this is the price difference between a 10 and a 9. So a 10 last sold for $2,300. The 9 sold for $115. So, we're almost talking 20x difference there. But the thing I like about that, for me, I see a lot of value in the 9. And for me, the 10 is, I think you have to be, the ultimate collector to buy that. But for me, where it gets even more interesting is the 8. So that last sold for $34 USD. A little bit of up and down there. There is a little bit of variance there, but at the same time, it's 10% variance. So at $30, we're sort of talking between, 50 and 32. But, we've talked about this a lot on the show. We don't want to just talk about high-end cards. We do want to sort of touch on all spectrums. So going from PSA 8 to PSA 10, really does encapsulate that. So I like that a lot. The second card I had on there, I really couldn't go past this. It was a flawless card. It's a vertical patch autograph. It last sold for $1,529 USD.
Yeah.
There was a cheaper variant to 15. So again, just trying to look at different price points. That sold for 600 USD. Now, I'm going to stick with Flawless because I really think, for me, once you've gone past the rookie card, I'm really interested in Flawless at the moment. And I'd also add to this too, the chase that I'm sort of working through in my head at the moment is the old timers and then getting these, beautiful on card autos. And if you can get something, Flawless, their patches, particularly on the shorter numbered stuff, is just, absolutely amazing. So that's the other reason why I couldn't go past this. This is instead of the vertical patch autograph, this is the horizontal, the next one. And, traditionally the verticals will sell for at least double more than what a East-West will sell for. And I think this is a really interesting play because it does present a little bit of value. But the other benefit too of getting the East-West card is that the autograph has a lot more room to work. So what I mean by that is sometimes even the vertical RPAs, they can be a little bit sort of squashed in. So
Yeah.
like one of my favorite Larry Bird cards is actually one of the East-West cards. And the reason for that is just because his autograph is, it really is almost a third of the card, if not more. So
I think that's a
that
really good point. Yeah.
yeah, that last sold for 700, and again looking for a cheaper variant, that was 582 USD. So the next one I can see where people might be a little bit critical of me. It's a Cornerstones. It's from 2017. It's the downtown card. You know, you might say this is recency bias, and you might say that, I'm just sort of jumping on, the case hit bandwagon. And look, all of those things might be true, but for me, 17 Cornerstones is just a really special set. And
Yeah.
I really like the Cornerstones cards. I love the narrative that they put into it. And I think this is a little bit of maybe an overlooked card in the set because traditionally,
I think the downtown set, insert set is actually quite a pretty set in general.
yeah, they're awesome cards. And
Yeah.
I think this is probably an overlooked card because
Mm.
it's not a rookie card, and that's the ones that, everyone would chase. For me, the surprising part for this was there's not a lot of sold data on this in raw or graded. So there was
Mm.
only one data point on Card Ladder, and that sold for 600 USD. So that's actually a lot more than probably what I was expecting, to be honest.
Yeah.
So and maybe that's the continuing theme. As we move through this, there's not a lot of low end Reggie Miller that
Yeah.
that came into my searches. So I think just sort of hold that thought for a second.
Yeah.
Card number 5 is Stadium Club, and the PSA 10 of that last sold for 1.4K. So the pop count in that is 31, and it's a classic card. It's the Beam Team card. So you would, without even looking at the picture of this
Yeah.
card, you would know the card that I'm talking about. This one,
Mhm. Yeah, I know. I was going to say, yeah, they're pretty iconic, the Stadium Club.
yeah,
Yeah.
extremely. But again, the interesting thing for me on this one is the price difference. So a PSA 10 sold for 1.4K, a PSA 9 sold for $47. So whether that was, the data is wrong in the database, but there's actually two sold prices in there.
Yeah.
Again, I really can't go past a PSA 9 at $47 when the 10 is selling for,
A
what's that,
lot of money
40
like
times
that
more,
for it. Yeah.
So I,
Well, you don't know when was that last sale for the 10 though?
the 10, I actually found that on 130 point, and I didn't write that down. It's not on Card Ladder.
Yeah, it won't be recent. It won't be the last few months, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. But
But
interesting.
anyway,
I like those cards. They're beautiful.
yeah, I think that definitely belongs in the checklist. You might sort of say this Beam Team is up a little bit too high, but I've got a larger one of this, and it's a really, really nice card in hand. I think that's definitely something to have into your set. Number 6, Upper Deck Game jersey. So this sold for raw at $565. This one I'm a little bit surprised about. It's not a particularly pretty card. There's not a lot to it. And at the same time, you could get a BGS 8.5 for 250. So, you know, this is a tough one for me. But then when you sort of comp it out between the other stuff, you say, 500 or 250, but then the cornerstones are selling for 600. So again, that's what I was sort of talking to you about earlier with this, theme of
Yeah.
I do feel a little bit surprised about what some of this stuff is selling for. So, but at the same time, I suppose he is an all-time great, isn't he? And maybe a little bit of maybe a bit of an underrated hobby person. Is that possible, Ad?
Possible, but he
Yeah,
was he's known as one of the great 3-point shooters. So I think that the from downtown pick there from yourself was really appropriate.
yeah.
But he's like, I guess he's rated, but he's not prominent. So he doesn't have that superstar factor, but he was a superstar.
He never won a championship. He never won an MVP. He ran into some incredibly talented Jordan teams. He ran into those Pistons
Yeah,
teams. He made
yeah,
the finals twice. And I think it's pretty fair to say that that team was really a very veteran-laden team. And they were, I think old is probably, reasonable to say. Because remember,
yeah,
Mark Jackson wasn't really that mobile. Chris Mullin was traded to Indiana almost as a mercy trade to give him a chance to win a championship. Rick
yeah,
Smits wasn't really that mobile, and then they had the Davis brothers. They were big boys, weren't they? Like
yeah,
it wasn't a super athletic team. I suppose the only person that was probably in their prime was Jalen Rose, and
yeah. It was an interesting era for Indiana because they got there, but they didn't get over that hump.
nah,
And that was not due to Reggie at all. Like Reggie gave it everything. So and I don't know. I think he is there's a lot of people. He's a very likable player. Like looking back, people really liked, I suppose, the way he played basketball. He wasn't the most friendly of guys to play against from all accounts, but
talked a lot of trash.
yeah, he was a big trash talker. But he was one of those. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed watching them play. Just that Pacers team.
Yeah,
Like they always felt like the underdog that you were sort of rooting for.
yeah,
That's the way I sort of viewed it in the 90s anyway. But then again, if you weren't the Chicago Bulls in the 90s, you were the underdog. Really?
yeah. They literally made every team an underdog, didn't
Yeah, yeah.
they?
That's crazy.
Alrighty, the last two cards I had in the list is just some autographs because I just thought looking through my list, I didn't have a lot
Mm.
of autographs in here. And again, I tried to sort of balance out the pricing because we've talked about flawless, we've talked about stadium club, so I'm using air quotes at the moment. I found two low end autos. I found an essentials auto, which is again being kind, a low end set. I found a raw card for 81 USD. The other one I found was it's not an autograph actually out of a set, but it's a in-person PSA authenticated autograph from Fleer Tradition that last sold for $68 USD. So, and I suppose that also brings us to that whole point about how do you feel about those authenticated autographs?
Mm.
Do you have any of those in your PC ad?
Which ones where they go? Was it? No, actually, I don't think I've got any of the those particular ones.
Yeah.
But they're interesting, aren't they?
I think for me, if I can be honest, I'm very skeptical of all that type of memorabilia that isn't authenticated, or I mean that is an authenticated autograph, but
Yeah,
it doesn't come from an authentic source. The
yeah.
only one that I think we really have to discuss is the cream autographs. Have you seen? Take 2 seconds time out and just Google Kareem Abdul-Jabbar rookie autograph, because his rookie card is, I don't know, maybe 1.5 times length, and some of the inscriptions that he does on his card, like he literally fills up the whole card with all of his achievements. So how many MVPs and how many scoring titles and how many championships. Like some of the stuff he writes down is just absolutely epic. So that would be the only one that I wouldn't feel like that about at all. You know what I mean? Like if I had one of those in
Yeah,
my PC, I think that would just be like incredible. So,
yeah,
and the reason that actually came up, just segueing backwards a little bit, is I was talking about building up cards in my sort of all time and my veteran collection, and
yeah.
that's sort of it's on my dream list, I suppose you could say it like that. So,
Oh, good, Korea. Yeah, there's a grail chase, right?
oh,
Kareem.
that is
Yeah.
just an amazing card. Alrighty, let's move on to the big dog, Kobe Bryant. What do you got for us, Ad?
I am feeling the pressure right now.
You should feel pressure. I've just delivered 8 pieces of
And
spun gold.
look. I don't want it to be the same as every other Google search because
Sure.
I can do it right now. I can go best Kobe Bryant cards to look for.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, must have Kobe's. And I'll go straight to the rookies. So I really want to skim over the rookies because there are a lot of them.
Okay.
1996, we're still towards the end of the junk wax era. So there's a few bargains to be had.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I won't call them junk, but like
Well,
the 1996 Upper Deck rookie card is
yeah.
last sold for $5 US raw.
Yeah, radio. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but that's good. I don't mind that though, Ad, because again, that gives, people a different price point. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to look at a graded one because it's not the Kobe I'd want graded. Then you've got
You wouldn't
something
grade a
like,
$5 card, is that what you're telling me?
I wouldn't grade that Kobe rookie. If I've got a book full of Kobe rookies, that's not the one I'm pulling out if I think it's gradable.
Yeah, I think segue number 2. Do we make an unwritten rule that you don't spend more on grading than what the card is worth?
That's maybe.
And that would actually probably half the queue at PSA at the moment, and make the backlog much shorter
Express
for
turnaround would be 2-day turnaround. It'd just be no queue. So what have we got? So one that I probably, another one I probably wouldn't get graded, but it enters the discussion. I think it's got a bit of bling on it. It's a nice photo. Is the Fleer Ultra
Sure.
96. Last sold for $30. So number 52, Kobe Bryant, Fleer Ultra raw. The base card is $30.
What does a graded one sell for it?
I'm just going to have a look. So a PSA 10 last sold for $990 US.
What's the pop count on that bad boy?
345.
Okay.
Yeah, market's a little bit down. I have to say, overall, graded Kobe's are down 20 to 30%.
Interesting.
I think that's more economic than anything else because Kobe's a currency. It's easy to flip them and turn them over.
Yeah.
And people are, in times of economic strain, it's an easy commodity. Like Jordan's easy to move and Kobe's easy to move.
So at the moment, is that a good play to buy, do you think?
I think it's a good market to buy Kobe's at the moment.
Okay. Is it a good play to buy one raw and send it off to PSA and hope that it comes back at 10? Because that seems like quite a considerable margin.
I think it depends on the card. As I said, that card, if it comes back at 10, now that particular one, I reckon there'd be some surface issues. So you're probably looking at maybe a 9s or 8s. PSA 9 you'll get for $95.
Okay.
And that is a pop count of 2,800. So there are a few of these Fleer Ultra ones around.
If it comes back at 9, you're probably not going to do your money. You still be at least break even, I would say.
Money back. You come back at 8, then you're probably
in trouble.
you've done your dough.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be, what do we got? PSA. Well, look, PSA 8 last sold for $36. So you can buy it raw for 30. Try your luck, or you can go and just buy a PSA 8 for $36.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Now we talk about the iconic ones, the big dogs. All right, we'll start with not quite the big dog, but in that ballpark. Topps 1996 Kobe Bryant number 138. Base card, PSA 10, $850. Pop count of about 4,100.
Okay.
Right, it's down a little bit. Started a few months ago around about the 1,200 mark. I think that's probably where it should be. I feel like Kobe's definitely coming down, still on the decline from that giant spike in 2021. But yeah, 850 US will pick you up a PSA 10 gem mint Kobe Bryant Topps rookie card.
Hey, I think what we should do is put all the pictures up of these cards because I think it'll make it heaps more interesting if we actually look at. We'll put them up to socials afterwards.
We'll put them up to the socials. This is the one episode where I would love to be live at the moment. I'll be sharing images.
Let's not go there, Ad. Let's keep moving, mate.
Let's not go there.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's the Topps Chrome. Is the next version of that.
This is the one I want to talk about. Talk to me about the Topps Chrome.
All right, Topps Chrome. I'm just on Card Ladder at the moment. 1996 Topps Chrome Kobe Bryant base. Shall we go raw?
Always start raw.
Start raw. There's no raw on the on Card Ladder. So for a PSA 10, You are looking at around last sold for 4,050 US. Pop count of 833.
Okay.
That's not as crazy as you might think, is it?
No, I was actually going to say that. That seems to me quite reasonable.
Yep. So base refractor, PSA 10 refractor. Last sold for 96k. Pop count of 63.
So the refractor is like a silver prism, yeah?
Correct. That's
Yeah.
the silver. The refractor, I've always compared Topps Chrome to Prism.
So
And you've got the Topps Chrome is the
base sold for 4,000. Is that what you're telling me?
That's correct.
Okay, which is at the moment 10 times more than a Luka, because a Luka is selling for like 350.
Yeah, and then you've got the PSA 10 refractor, which is selling last sold for 96k.
That's some really big dollars, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we talk about prospecting in NBA all the time, and why do we pay these future prices? And that's why, isn't it? You hope that one of these cards will go up to 96k.
Yeah, and look, the Topps Chrome is probably the Topps and the Topps Chrome are the same image, right? But that's the most iconic. That's the card that everyone sort of refers to.
And that's the one that goes green, doesn't it?
That's correct. If you don't look after it, goes green.
Is there a price gradient on the refractors, whether they're green or not? Like the last one that sold for 96k, I'm assuming that was
Ooh,
pristine.
that's a good question.
And then does one sell for say 75 that's got a bit of green through it?
Yeah, I'm guessing that there would be a scale.
No, that's okay. I'm putting you on the spot there. That's a pretty.
There's a lot to process with that.
Yeah.
Refractor, PSA. Well, I can tell you that. Are you ready for the money card?
Of course.
Because we saw, I think we referred to this card a little while ago when we were discussing black labels.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1996 Topps Chrome Kobe Bryant refractor, BGS 10.
Yeah.
Black label.
Oh yeah, talk to me about this.
Pop count of 2.
Is there 2 of them?
Yes.
I'm actually surprised about that.
Last sold for $795,000.
Yeah.
US. Now that is the Grail piece, right?
Yeah.
That is the Grail piece. So if one of the 2 owners would like to send one of them my way, I would be forever grateful.
So do we just want to really quickly run through what a black label is for listeners at home?
Yeah, sure. Basically, it's it's all 10s, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's 4 subgrades, and each subgrade is a 10. The issue with black labels is that they're less than 0.1%. I think that's what the output rate is. So, to get one is just, like you said, a grail piece. So my younger brother...
It's the ultimate it's perfection in a card.
Yeah, who does baseball, he grades his cards. He will only grade with Beckett, and for the reason why he's hoping that one day he'll get a black label. He thinks PSA is a crock, basically. So
that's crazy.
That's just a different, perspective. Like,
yeah, no. I think that's great.
Like for me, I'd probably rather just play the field, and sort of the law of averages. I think PSA will come out, ahead.
Yeah.
His theory is, one day he's going to hit a black label and then be like sitting in this pile of cash. That's his sort of, not pile of cash, but he's going to be the winner.
All right. Should I give some notables? Like, I mean, the Topps Chrome's obviously the centerpiece, and I could go on for a while about it.
I'll keep going. I mean, talk to me about it. I think it's an important card.
Yeah, the Topps Chrome. Like, there's not much else to go as far as. I mean, this has got a pop count of 2.
Because was this the first Chrome sort of / Prism card that made it all happen? Because Jordan didn't have this. LeBron was after Kobe, right?
So did this start the Topps Chrome refractor?
Yeah, I mean, everyone says it was Ben Simmons, but come on, Ben Simmons had nothing to do with this,
Yeah. I would say that the Topps Chrome wrote this become the dominant rookie card from here on in. You're right. Yeah. There's another there's a few other rookies that the refractors and the Chrome version. What have we got? The Bowmans, Topps Finest, which is Topps Finest. Because it wasn't Prism, it was Finest. It's hilarious the way they there's too many rookie cards here.
That's okay, mate.
The next one I was going to talk about was the 96 EX 2000.
Okay.
The green. If anybody hasn't seen it, we will put these up on socials.
We should definitely do it. I think it'll make the pod actually more
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So the EX, this is a beautiful card. I used to own the EX certified or credentials or whatever it was, numbered to 499.
Okay.
Graded, and I shouldn't have got rid of it because I shouldn't have. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very nice card. 200 US raw. Is the
Okay.
last sold price. So these are worth a pretty penny.
So PSA 10, what did that set you back?
A PSA 10 for the base, 23.5K. Pop count of 24. Good pop count for someone like Kobe.
Yeah.
That's the base. The credentials, number to 499. If you've got it in a PSA 10, you're sitting on 600K US.
Jeez. And all right, I have to ask you. So what did you sell yours for?
Not what it's currently worth. I sold mine for around about 2K.
And was that raw?
And it was a BGS 8, which is current last sold for 9,300
Okay.
US. So look, I obviously lost a bit on that by selling it.
I mean, I've heard of people get washed for way worse, man. I actually don't think that's that terrible.
Look, I think that's just the natural scaling in the market, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, look, I'd love to be sitting on a 10,000 US card like that. That would be in my cabinet, in your
locked cabinet.
In my that'd be one of the centerpieces.
I think. In your good box. Yeah.
And that'd be with my good stuff.
Yeah.
With the good stuff. I think that one's a really nice one. I would honestly Google top Kobe rookies because you could pick up whatever you're looking for.
Yeah.
You will find it. There's so much out there.
They're liquid.
There is and they are very they're an investment. I guess Kobe isn't it. Even though they're on the decline at the moment, they're not going to go through the floor. They're just correcting down to their current day price. I think people have been playing future prices.
So the question is how much more correcting if we got to go ahead? What do you think?
I think it's where we need to be at the moment. I think.
Okay. So you think at the moment the prices are pretty reasonable and.
Yeah, I think people are trying to flip Kobe's to pay for Christmas presents. At the moment, that's why the market's in decline a little bit.
I could not agree with you more about that. I think there's a lot of sales happening at the moment in that space.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And look, it's Kobe's easy. It gets attention, and yeah, it draws the people in. Now, as far as super high end stuff,
yeah, talk to me.
Look, I'm going to keep it simple. If you can get your hands on a Kobe Bryant on-card autograph, there should be one in your collection. Just one, at least one.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're looking for something nice, any iMac Flawless NT, and you can get an on-card auto.
Yeah.
There you go. If it's not those high-end products, I think one of the ones that I've chosen that I like for the look of was black and gold, the black and gold signatures.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's done in like a gold Sharpie.
Yeah.
Like it's a gold texture autograph.
What does that set you back?
That didn't set me back a whole lot. I bought it a long time ago, but I bought that about 6 or 7 years ago.
What are they currently selling for now? Sorry, I asked the wrong question then.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Black Kobe Bryant. The things to have as a Kobe collector.
Yeah, stop letting me segue you, mate. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, that's all right. Look, I could just be as I said, I could just be the Google search. I don't want to be that. So I'm gonna go a little bit on the personal side because this is something that I chased a little while back, and I think it sort of holds a special place with me. And it's Panini Brilliance, the Spellbound set. Now I think Spellbound's been done has been redone and revigorated, but these are very shiny. It's a set of 6 for Kobe Bryant, isn't it? Yep. So basically 6 cards, spell out the name, a letter for each. You know the drill. It's not Antetokounmpo, but it's still a 6-card chase.
Yeah.
And I just think it's nice. It's a little insert set. It's got some great images of Kobe. We all like a shiny card. So it was one of those little sets that they're not going to set you back much. You'll probably play between, $30 to $50 a card if people are trying to really get it out, but they're not gonna they're not gonna cost you thousands of dollars to complete this chase.
Yeah.
They're also not easy to come across, so you might have to bide your time on it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Bryant.
So it's not going to set you back much, but it's going to give you hours of frustration and anger, most likely, chasing down the last tee.
You are going to chase the card. It's a legitimate chase. Last couple of sales, well, bit of variety there. Yeah, so 1,600 US, 1,000 US, 2,500 US. Oh, is that the number to 10? Okay, that's the to 10. So that's the other one. So look, I mean, a Kobe auto is probably going to set you back in Australian dollars, 1,500 to $2,000. But if getting an on-card autograph for less than $2,000 Australian, that's pretty special.
Okay.
I mean, as far as the iMac and the NT stuff goes, you could be paying a lot. Or you could jump into a Raz that's 100 spots at $100 and hope that you win a $10,000 card.
I think
which did happen recently.
You should tell the audience your wink, wink, nudge, nudge story about that. I think
I did buy a couple of spots in that. That was my Christmas present. Oh, my other nudge, nudge, wink, wink story.
Yeah, just say.
Well, okay. So there's National Treasures. I think it's 12-13. Logo signatures. There was a Raz, 100 spots at $5. I think it was, but no. It was $6, 100 spots at $6 or something like that. Because that was a lot back when it was razzed. So it was a $500 and $550 card at the time. Probably unders at that stage, probably a $700 card.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I bought myself, I think it was 8 or 10 spots, and I was keen on it. I'm like, you know what, $50, that's a cool looking Kobe. Anyway, long story short, I won the Raz, and that's now. Yeah, that's now one of my good stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, yeah. So it's the closest I think I'm ever going to get to a Kobe Bryant logo man auto. Like, it's got the logo man on it.
I was going to say, as far as I'm concerned, it's a logo man ad. Yeah, but just for everyone at home, Adam had a very sly, sort of cheeky look on his face when you said, "Oh, you could go into a Raz," when he said that before. That's why I prompted him to tell this story.
So. There was one recently that I did pay a couple of $100 to have a crack at winning one.
Did that close? Is it finished?
It's finished, yeah. And the guy that won it is trying to sell it for $7,000. Tried to sell it for 10 the day after, and then is now trying to sell it for $6,900.
Okay.
$6,999 with free shipping. Tracked shipping. Oh boy.
All right, let's keep moving.
If you can get your hands on a Kobe Bryant autograph, my advice would be to save and buy an on-card auto.
Yeah.
Not a sticker auto. I mean, Kobe has signed it, but an on-card auto to me is just that little bit more special.
What's the price difference between a sticker and an on-card ad? Is it really big? Because
I feel like that $1,000 to $2,000 price point is where it used to be with, and you go back 6 or 7 years, and when he was his final season, before his last season, you were paying $100 for a sticker auto,
yeah,
and $150 for an on-card, right?
Yeah.
So now it's $1,500 or $1,000 to $1,500 for a sticker, and $1,500 to $2,000 or $2,500 for an on-card.
Interesting.
So yeah, iMac, National Treasures, Flawless. There's some beautiful signatures out there. There's some authentic game worn stuff, which I suppose segues over to game worn jerseys. There are a lot of memorabilia cards out there of Kobe's, and you can get your hands on some nice jersey cards. I wouldn't say sweet patches, but jerseys for sure, from like $200 to $500.
Okay.
And they're game worn too. So the bargains are out there. You've just got to be careful. My advice, unless it's me selling, don't be too quick to jump at a price. So if I'm selling it, don't try and lowball me, please. I kid. But yeah, like be patient. Go for a card that you really want, because it's a, as soon as we're talking signatures and memorabilia, we're talking money.
Yeah.
And I think it's a matter of taste, and it's a matter of being patient and waiting for the right piece to come along. And it will.
So
You just need
if
to
you could buy
exercise.
one card out of this iMac Flawless NT pit, what would you dip into, Ad?
I was keen on that, Raz. I think something along those lines.
Yeah, okay.
Like, but I'd be saving money for for something juicy. Like, it had to be a nice patch
Yeah.
to go with it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd just go an auto. I think unless the patch has really got some kick to it,
Yeah.
you really want to get a nice sweet autograph. But I think the on card matters, and I think the image matters.
Yep. No, I'm totally fine with that.
And going back to your Reggie countdown, I'm going to say get any cool insert sets that you can, because once again, and there was a patch where I sold a few Kobe's, and I regret this a lot. I had a studio because remember how we talked about card insert sets that have moved around?
Yeah.
So before they were in Cornerstones, From Downtown came out in studio.
Yeah, sure.
And I bought a lot of it on a cherry trade day, and I ended up hitting the Kobe Bryant From Downtown.
Wow.
Which I believe at the Hobby Hangout there was one that was, I think it was PSA 10, but it sold for like $8,000.
Yeah, radio.
Anyway, I sold mine for $250. Yep, but that was 5 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like it
was probably a good price at the time.
Correct. Like I was getting good value for it for what it was. But yeah, like they're cards that I do regret giving up, and I love the look of the From Downtown.
Yeah.
Like any cool inserts of Kobe, it doesn't matter what, if they're important and that, if you're not in the rookie game, then you're not buying investment pieces, you're buying a nice piece that looks good. So what's another example of one of those that I've got? California Dreaming. Him and Shaq, Kobe and Shaq. I think it was a 2003 Topps card, I think. I can check.
That's good. Anyway. We can find the picture of the card later, yeah.
That's it. California Dreaming, it's got Shaq and Kobe. It's just a nice card. And that's it. Like I've got it's a BGS 9.5. I think I paid a couple $100 for it. But it was a nice piece, and I looked at it and went,
let's do it.
That'll be nice on display.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean for nice inserts.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be something epic. Yeah, it's interesting.
So
but yeah, look, they're my things. If you're going to start a Kobe collection, get a couple of rookies. You don't have to pay a fortune for them. Get raw, maybe upgrade per Russell's little suggestion. Maybe getting something that could be 10xing your money or breaking even. Breaking even's never a bad thing.
No, that's always good.
But a couple of rookies, maybe one of the nice rookies, the Bowman's Best, what is it?
Topps
Apprentice
Chrome.
one, the Topps Chrome. Well, Topps Chrome is a must-have in my eyes. If you're a Kobe collector, get the Topps or the Topps Chrome.
Yeah.
Even a Topps Chrome, you can pick up doesn't have to be PSA 10. It doesn't have to be PSA 10. Let's go base. Topps Chrome base. Just for the exercise, PSA 9 you can pick up for $1,250. PSA 8 you can pick up for less than $1,000, $775.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like you don't have to spend
thousands. It's
like I mean, he always gets compared, Jordan. For $500 you can pick up a PSA 7, $500 US. You can pick up a PSA 7 Topps Chrome rookie. You know
in
what
the
I mean?
market, like less than 1,000.
Yeah. Easy. But I think a couple of rookies is always a one of those must-haves. One of those top 10 ones, like the Topps Chrome, the EX, the Bowmans, the Topps Finest. Oh, yeah. You know the list. And then an autograph, if you can get your hands on one, a little bit of memorabilia if you can get your hands on it. Make sure it's game worn and make sure the auto's on card, and then some cool inserts to go around it. That would sort of encompass a nice little Kobe PC.
Yeah.
And then you sort of grow from there and see what takes your fancy. Is
Alrighty.
that the whole episode done?
We can pretty much finish off if you want, mate. That's 42 minutes already.
You asked me to talk about Kobe rookies.
So I think we should skip across to the opposite side of the conference and actually talk about the long-time Lakers nemesis, the Boston Celtics.
I knew you'd do that to me.
They're 21-6 this year. I think we have to talk about them. I think there's been enough of the season now that it's not small sample size theater anymore. I think, the Celtics are legit.
Yeah.
My one-line summary of the Celtics this year is that they're a talented team that plays hard. And I think that if you want to make a comparison point to that, the last couple of years, the team that I've been frothing over is the Nets because they have so much talent. But if you want to make a direct comparison between these two teams, particularly the older iterations of the Nets, like when it was Harden, Durant, and then Kyrie, they just didn't play hard. Whereas these Celtics, they play so hard. Like Tatum plays so hard. Jalen Brown plays so hard. Marcus Smart, that's what he does. So I think we have to give these guys some respect and a bit of love. So I think we start with Jayson Tatum.
Yeah.
So where I went with Tatum is I went ultra high end. And the reason I did this is because it's fun. And I wanted to do it. So basically, I found his card on PWCC under the sold listings. It is the National Treasures rookie card, the vertical RPA, BGS 9.5, all 9.5 subs too, which I think is important, particularly when you're talking about, crossing over, that, that does become important. A 10 autograph, it's sold for 69.9 USDK. And
I have a question on Tatum.
Talk to me.
Where's his ceiling? Where is the ceiling for Tatum?
Yeah. See, I've come full circle on Tatum because last year or in the last 12 months where we've been talking about him, I was really unsure about Tatum. I didn't really see all the hype, and then he dragged that team to the finals, and they're looking really, really good. I mean, they lost to the Warriors today.
Sure.
But at the same time, geez, they're looking good.
That happens
in an 82-game season. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah. So, and then my mind space went to, okay, well, what else can you get in that sort of same marketplace or in the same range? So I found a Luka, a KD, a Kahwi Leonard, a Joker to try and make some comps here. So the Luka sold the same card, the vertical NT, sold for 250K. So,
all right. So the reason I asked about his ceiling is because my current position is that I think Tatum's going to win a championship and lead his team to a championship before Luka. I don't know if Luka's capable.
Well, the thing about it is that I see why people froth over Luka. Like the numbers that he's putting up are just out of this world, and you can't deny that. And
yeah, for sure.
The more games he plays, the more incredible numbers he puts down. So that's one thing. He's also proven to be very reliable and relatively injury free. And then I think the other thing for me too is that I actually believe in the Dallas Mavericks in terms of championship pedigree and also franchise pedigree. Some teams where you just kind of like the Charlotte Hornets.
Got a lot of faith in Cuban.
Yeah, I've got a lot of faith in Cuban and, them building a championship team. I will admit the last couple of years they've had some turbulence in their front office. But, the classic example on the other end of the spectrum is the Charlotte Hornets. I have no expectation this team will ever be able to put together a competitive team.
Well, they're going to end up with the number one pick the way they're playing.
They just seem to be forever in turbulence, though. They just sort of just go through this, very rinse and repeat sort of cycle. So to answer your question specifically, look, Tatum might win a championship before Luka, but I don't think that means that he'll win more championships than Luka. I don't think that necessarily means that.
All right, you ready for my follow-up to that?
Yeah, hit me.
I reckon Tatum will win an MVP before Luka.
I mean,
that's my hot take. That is an unpopular opinion, but I don't think Luka can get over the hump, and they can't find someone to put with him. I think it's a problem.
Yeah, look, at the moment, I would agree with that narrative, but they're both very young men, and they've still got a long time to go, right?
Sure. Sure.
think about,
But at what point is it potential? And then at what point
do
in
you
their
stop
career
speculating?
do you stop with
Yeah.
potential and say it was wasted
Yeah,
potential because you
totally.
never
No,
did
you're
anything with
you're
it? Yeah.
100% right. And when you see that like that picture right here, 70,000 versus 250,
Yeah.
like that's real, and I think that's,
I'm like, if I've got 250K, I'm buying 3 of those
yeah,
Tatums.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And no shade to Luka. This is not a I don't like Luka thing. This is I think Tatum is amazing, and I think he's actually not getting the credit he deserves.
Yeah, yeah. Look, the price points here, it's actually quite interesting. So the
Mm.
next couple are a bit problematic. I couldn't find RPAs, sort of per se, but I
Yeah.
tried my best to find something sort of, relatively comparative. So Kevin Durant, 2007, which is his rookie year, exquisite collection, exclusives, rookie
Yeah.
patch auto, number to 35, BGS 9.5. So look, it still is an
Yeah.
RPA, but it's obviously different numbering. That sold for 35K. So
Oh wow.
that to me, this is this is the ultimate example of the recency bias. And we've spoken about this before about, we
True.
get so frothed up about, current rookies and, all this type of stuff. And I really
Yeah.
like that for 35K. I think that's a really good buy. I know Kevin Durant's not popular and yada yada, but I think
Yeah.
he's got a really good resume. And I think he's an amazing scorer. And I think we're going to look back at him on maybe someone that we didn't appreciate
Yeah.
enough. And I think that's another good example of us not appreciating him. I couldn't find
True.
a Kahwi Leonard RPA, but I did find a rookie signature number to 25 that sold for 16.5K. I really like this as a purchase because Kahwi doesn't sign a lot. And again, I think when we look back on his career, even if he retires tomorrow, which he came back and hit a game winner, and then I think he's sitting out, more games. Like this guy just cannot get healthy. It's just such a
Mm.
it's actually sad, to be honest. I feel bad for the guy. I want him back on the court in the worst way, but he just can't get healthy. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
and then the last one I found is a Nikola Jokic. I found a NT autograph number to 25 that sold for 26.4K. So I I think this
Can
is,
I say that Jokic is criminally underrated?
yeah, I think so too. I mean, the only, sort of for me, the narrative here, which is a bit weird, is that's actually cheaper than the Kahwi Leonard one, but Leonard has had more championship success.
Hmm.
So I think that's a really interesting sort of,
That's
narrative
an
there.
interesting
I
narrative. Yeah.
suppose you could argue though that maybe Joker has got more potential, that he has
Mm.
got the 2 MVPs, he could still win 2 championships, but
Yep.
I don't know. For
If they
me,
win a championship, he's got Finals MVPs to go with it for
Denver's a
sure.
tricky one though. So
Mm.
So, and now we've spoken about that. How do you feel about that Tatum for 69.9 USD? K USD.
So 69K, so 70,000 US dollars, right?
Yeah.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I suppose I compare it to the Luka straight off, right?
Yeah.
And I go, I want 3 of the Tatums if that's the price for Luka.
So if you could buy any
But
of
is
these
that the
cards,
ceiling, or are they going to all bottom out and go down to 30K?
I think Tatum's still got room to move. I think the problem with the Luka is, where does it go from that? I think for me, that's super problematic.
Yeah. All right. So if you've got the Luka, are you the one that sold it for 250K to get out of Dodge?
I mean, you would hope so.
If you were the one that bought it, would you be moving it quickly?
I think
I
if
mean,
you,
this isn't about Luka, but we'll go quickly to it.
yeah, I mean, this is a fun conversation to have. Like, definitely, let's do it.
Is that a buy, hold, or a sell? You just acquired someone for your Chris Kringle gave you a $250,000 Luka RPA. First of all, do you take the risk
So the optimistic,
and send it to PSA and try and get a 10?
look, I
I'm
probably
kidding.
wouldn't. I think, BGS for the fatter cards is a legit thing.
I'm
So
like, I was waiting. You come on. You were supposed to say you'll send it to PSA for authentication.
I dropped the ball on that one, 100%. So, like, seriously, I think my thought with this is
Mm,
actually Luka's dropped a little bit,
yeah,
and if the cup is half full, you can say, well, he's going to have a fantastic year, and he's going
yeah,
to drag this team to the finals. That would be ideal, and maybe you could flip it. If everything falls right for you. I just think at that price, like that is a huge risk. Like
What
that's a
about
massive risk.
what about the Jokic
Yeah,
iMac RPA to 99 for 9.5K. Is that a buy, hold, or a sell? If you are in possession of the Nikola Jokic
Yeah, I didn't
iMac,
actually. I didn't touch on that. That was another one that I found too. Is the iMac RPA? That's the 99. Look at 9.5. I don't mind that. I just think
but the NT Auto 26 is that a rookie year auto?
yeah.
Okay, so
Yes, I think so.
rookie,
Yes, it was. Yeah.
yeah, National Treasures rookie auto. Are they holds? Because I don't think they're sells, or I think they're buys.
Yeah, I agree with that on the Joker.
I'm saying that. Are we saying the Joker doesn't have the Ferrugia factor?
He definitely doesn't. But I think for me, the two most undervalued one is the KD to 35 for 35K, and then the Kahwi Leonard to 25, and particularly the Kahwi Leonard because I really like his career story, and also too he doesn't sign a bunch, so that's why I like it for that.
That's true. That's interesting.
The other Celtic that we had on the list is Jaylen Brown, and I think you've probably got more to say about him than I do, but his silver PSA 10 last sold for 380. It's actually down 4% in the last 3 months. The PSA,
because he's being in the shadow of Jayson Tatum is tough work.
Yeah, I think so, but this is to me is really surprising, and the reason I say that is because they're probably the best team in basketball at the moment. So the fact that he's actually dipping a little bit now, to me, is really interesting. This is the one that really caught my eye, though. The PSA 9, that's actually down 62%. That last sold for $76. For me, this is
That's everything. A buy. That is a snap buy.
Yeah, everything that we've spoken about tonight, this is like by far my favorite card. I really like this. For me, this is a very low risk purchase because you're buying pedigree, B, you're buying somebody that's actually in the thick of it right now, and C, you're buying somebody that is actually a very good player. So I think sometimes I get caught up with speculating too much and, trying to buy these prospects and sort of outsmart the market. But sometimes you need to look at, what's right in front of you. The best players, like he's the second best player on the best team in basketball right now. And, you can get a rookie card silver for $70. I mean, come on, that's Ken,
that's crazy.
That's Ken Bruce stuff, I reckon. So I say,
that is mad. Yeah. That is mad. Yeah, you're right, without a doubt.
The next one I've got on my list, who's technically not a Celtic anymore, but just hear me out on this one. This is Romeo.
This is an intentional segue, Russell.
It is a segue, but this guy's been on my mind lately, so I couldn't sort of go past this. So it's Romeo Langford. He's a fourth-year pro. He was drafted by the Celtics. And I'm mentioning that he's a fourth-year pro for a very specific reason. So he's 23 years of age. So he came into the league very young. And I'll just read out to you a couple of draft picks from this year's draft who are 22 years old. Keon Ellis, Ziaire Williams, and Alondes Williams. So you can say, okay, he's 23 years old. He's too old, or, I don't want to talk about this guy. I don't want to prospect on him yet. But hang on a second. There's still, kids coming out of the draft that are, within 12 months of him. So
yeah,
I still think there's room to prospect on him. The reason why he's been on my mind a little bit lately is if you go to his game log, he's been playing a lot of minutes for the Spurs the last 8 games. So the last 8 games, he's played 23, 21, 25, 21, 22, 7 minutes, 28, and 28 minutes. So he's been getting, half a game, which I think is significant for him because he really, was nailed to the bench in Boston. And I think it's a fantastic opportunity for him to, to go to the Spurs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Spurs are a good opportunity team.
Yeah, he was highly touted.
There are so many minutes in San Antonio at the moment.
He was highly touted coming out of school. He's got an NBA-made body. I really like his game. I think he looks the part. So if you're looking at, dipping into someone cheap, if you want to have a go at someone, Romeo Langford, his silver PSA 10 last sold for $14.13. I don't think this is as good of a buy as Jaylen Brown PSA 9, but I would put that a very close second. So that's my my Boston Celtics breakdown.
I like it.
All right.
I like it. They are on a tear at the moment, and all credit to them. They've been fantastic.
Tinfoil hat time. Are you ready for this?
Get it out. Get the tinfoil hats ready.
If you've made your tinfoil hat out of those leftover Prism cards, now is your time to put it on as you're listening to the podcast.
Oh, right, here we go.
Ziaire Williams, the number 10 pick of the 2021 draft. If you listen to the last week's episode of the Zach Lowe podcast, he had Chris Vernon on, who is the Memphis broadcaster or the Memphis, media personality. He's also on the Ringer network. If you haven't heard Chris
Mhm.
Vernon's stuff, check it out. He's like a really funny dude. He's also very switched on and also plugged into people in Memphis. So Ziaire Williams is out at the moment with a knee injury. It's basically been put down to a tendonitis type injury, but he's also been listed out for the foreseeable future. So maybe the next 4 weeks too. So Chris
Mm.
Vernon's theory on this is that it's actually a growing pains type injury, and he's
I
not.
was going to make that joke and go, yeah. Is it growing pains?
Yeah. So seriously, that's what he actually puts it down to. He also says
Wow.
subjectively that he saw him recently and he thinks he's grown 2 inches. So I'm just going to, again, so we're wearing our tinfoil hats here. The other person that came into the league and grew a few inches after they entered the league was Giannis. So I don't think this kid is going to be Giannis, but let's just say that that growth in the league does matter, and it gives them opportunity to grow at an exponential rate. And when I say grow, I'm talking about physically, but I'm also talking about their game potential. I think this is someone you have to, look at some of their prices. Just dip into
Yeah.
eBay, see what his rookies are selling for, because Ziaire Williams is not selling for a lot. You can get them for 10, 8, $15. The prices are all over a little bit, but definitely I think someone you could take a punt on.
And it'd be worth a punt by the look of it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if you want to make a punt on one of the 3 cards that I last spoke about, the Ziaire
Yeah.
Williams, Romeo Langford, Jalen Brown, I would put Jalen Brown first, Ziaire Williams second, and then Langford third.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 fun, little prospects to have a look at, but at the same time, I'm definitely going to be
Yeah.
picking up some Ziaire Williams. I think to me that's too juicy information to pass up on, and I love connecting the sort of the real world to the card world, and I think this is
Yeah, for
kind
sure.
of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
I like it.
let's jingle our pockets. What have we got in our pocket change, mate?
And the pocket change. Well, I've actually got some pocket change this week, and we don't have cameras on, so you can't see it. But
That's
Panini,
okay.
I don't know if you've heard this,
Talk to
but
me.
Panini are sending out redemptions.
They are sending out redemptions.
So I've just cracked this little yellow envelope,
Awesome. Are you
and
doing this live?
I've just cracked it,
Okay.
and I thought I was going to get a rookie that is no longer playing from the 2016-17 season.
Yeah.
That's how long Panini is taking. I can't even remember the name of the player. It was a Dallas thing, and he's not even in the league anymore.
I mean, let's not get caught up with, let's not
But
let a story get
but
caught up with facts, Ad.
but I set this off for redemption, and obviously because he got kicked out of the league, he never signed.
Oh, did he get
Um,
kicked out of the league?
Well, no, played two or three seasons, and then he was gone. He was cut.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did not get a Cornerstones RP autograph or whatever it was. What is it? The Cornerstones with the signature to whatever it was, 49 or 99. Anyway, I got a Bob McAdoo autograph.
Sticker or on card?
It is a sticker, but it's what is it? Election night, Panini Marquee, Hall of Fame Class of 2000, Bob McAdoo.
And so for people at home, the McAdoo picture is huge. It's almost like a big head picture.
It's an election. It's like an election banner. It's great.
And
then
that's actually not a terrible redemption. I know that's probably not what you were desiring, but that's kind of a cool card.
There's a Bob McAdoo autograph to 199.
And also
from
1,000 times
12-13.
better historically player than what you can't even remember the guy that you got. Do you know what I mean?
Historically, the guy played 3 seasons and got like waived.
But
Of
McAdoo
course it's
is
better.
McAdoo. Yeah, exactly. McAdoo's in the Hall of Fame, surely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, he got elected to the Hall of. It was class of 2000. He was put into the Hall of Fame in the year 2000. So
Well, I think in this one,
that was
Adam 1, Panini 0, I think.
Yeah, I like that. I've got another one on the way, so
Great.
hopefully before Christmas we can do this all again. Onto other people's pocket change because we did pre-record last week's episode.
We did.
There are a few people that missed out on getting their cards read out.
We did.
I think Ados was the last one from my thread, and he got the laureate. Was it Franz Wagner 75? So we start with Dane.
Sure.
Dane Neville got 3 Darius Garland rookie cards for $13.
Yeah. I think that's a really good purchase, actually. I think Garland is collectible, so really good pickup, mate. Good stuff.
Including a hoops premium variation in the shimmer.
Yep.
That's nice. Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty cool. That's a good use of pocket change.
Absolutely.
For sure. What have we got? Lachlan Blunts in the news again. What do we get? $8.50 USD for a 2021-22 Prism Cameron Thomas Brooklyn Nets rookie auto.
Nice one.
Less than $20 for a rookie auto.
Yep.
This is
That
everyone's
kid's got a bit
spending
of
their pocket
potential
change.
too. He's
sort
of like a Jordan Clarkson type.
Still under the $20 spending limit is Lachlan Blunt again.
Lachlan Blunt.
Biggest. Oh no, he didn't get this one. Biggest almost for the week. Probably should have went a bit harder on a card number to 49. It was a Bradley Beal Spectra Auto in the zone. Or is it zone? Just zone. Red Prism zone. Nice.
Yeah. You never know with eBay auctions, dude. Even if you put another $1 on, they might have another $5. Like, you just never know. Like,
it's true.
You always have that thought at the back of your head, I just put one more bid down, but,
And then in the news again, Lachlan Blunt. Here we
Lachlan Blunt.
Bang. Kevin Porter Jr. rookie card jersey auto.
Yep.
To $199, $10.05.
Yep.
Bang.
I think you're better off actually spending money on that
comps.
Kevin Porter than the Bradley Beal, to be honest.
Yeah, and looking at the comps on that, you've smashed it out of the park. You would have had to get my previous lot of pocket change to get one of those.
Yeah.
The other image with the 50. But did you want to finish it off?
Yeah, look, I've got one this week. I've got a De'Aaron Fox. It's a veteran card from the 1-and-1 set. It's numbered to 99. Yeah. I paid $14 USD for it, including shipping. I'm really happy about this. I think 1-and-1 is just, at the moment, it's my favorite set. So just hear me out on this. I've almost got like a built-in segue into it. If you can afford to purchase a single hobby box, this is my recommendation: buy 1-and-1. So just hear me out on this. The rookie checklist is really good. You can get RPAs in it. The veteran checklist is excellent also. And what you'll generally get is you'll get one base card, which is numbered to 99 at worst. And they look beautiful cards. And then you either get an RPA or an insert. And in the insert sets, you've got downtown cards. You've got the Timeless Moments cards, which, we've spoken about those. And now this year, too, they've put into it also the sneaker spotlights. So
it's loaded.
Yeah, so I think, it's you basically. What does
a hobby box of 1-and-1 go for?
Yeah, so at the moment, for about 1,400 AUD to sort of 1,600 in that sort of, floating price range.
So if you've been good, ask Santa Claus now.
And look, people, will be talking about it. And the reason why it's not outrageous is because if you're paying, $1,000 for Prism, to go from that to that, it's not the biggest jump in the world. The other thing, the reason why I say it too, is I think that the reliability from the product in 1-and-1, yes, you get less cards, but I think that the quality that you get out of those two cards is significantly better than what you might. So, for example, Select. I think traditionally I've been very much a Select boy because it ticks a lot of my boxes. I get base cards, I get autographs, I get patches. It gives me a bit of everything. The problem is some of the Select boxes this year they've been pretty tough. Whereas,
agreed.
The toughest 1-and-1 box I've seen is probably still a lot better than what you'd get out of Select. And then if you want a few, base cards just to sort of get your hands around, then go and buy a Prism Blaster for $70. Like the price on them is actually held down pretty quick. So, you know what I mean? If you really want to get a nice card, I think the play is 1-and-1 sealed box for yourself and then a Prism Blaster if you want to, just play with some cards. I know it's a horrible segue out of pocket change, but I just couldn't go past it. Honestly, I just think 1-and-1 this year, they've just absolutely nailed it, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that. And if you've been saving that pocket change for Christmas, go and grab that. It's definitely out of the pocket change range for a box.
Yeah.
But I agree with the premise. If you're gonna put a lot of money into something, a product that's got a small return but a quality return.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely where it's at 1-on-1. There's one final one from Dwayne Pomfrey.
We did miss that. Apologies, Dwayne.
Game Gear Jewels, and I love this. It's Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili
Yeah.
for the Spurs. One's a black, one's a white. Is it white, silver? No, it's white jersey. $15 Australian for this little beauty.
That's a bargain. That's a really good pickup.
So, yeah, that's pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet. That's pocket change. That's all the pocket change. I will put up a new picture at some point.
Thanks, Ed.
In the coming week, and we'll get some more pocket change happening soon.
So our last segment for this week is actually a listener question from Capital Cards. It's basically claw versus claw. What card would you prefer? Would you prefer a white box 1 of 1?
Wow.
Of the Timeless Moments, or would you like a black box 1 of 1 of the Impeccable on-card autograph? I will let you answer this first, Ed.
I'll take the Timeless Moments.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a really short segment because all the listeners have said exactly the same thing. Like there's almost no
all right, so
let's
open this up to a bit more of a discussion, because I think the reason the Timeless Moments gets picked is because of the shot and the auto. It already has the auto, so there's more value as far as what you get in the Timeless Moments. Take the auto off the Timeless Moments. Which one do you take?
So one doesn't have an autograph and one does?
The Timeless Moments does not have a Kawhi signature on it.
I mean, I probably would lean towards the 1 of 1 with the autograph, but at the same time, it's still not a home run for me because, interestingly, so we're going back to 1 and 1 again.
Yeah.
They've put some bigger names into the Timeless Moments set that don't sign. So, for example, LeBron's got a Timeless Moment this year. He doesn't sign on the card, but he's still got a card in there. Same as Giannis, same as KD. Yeah. So that actually has been done. And sorry, just to name drop or / segue backwards again. Again, we're talking about a 1 of 1 product again. Like that's how good this product is. You know, this card comes out of 1 of 1. Look, I'd probably go for the autograph 1 of 1, but at the same time, it's not like a straightforward decision. I think those Timeless Moments cards are just amazing. Yeah. What about you in that scenario?
I'm probably taking the Timeless Moments because it's a piece of history. Like it's a snapshot of history.
Yeah. And it's a really important shot too. Everyone remembers what happened after that.
Yeah. I think even without the auto, the Timeless Moment.
Like that literally sent Joel Embiid into the tunnel crying. That's how much that shot broke his heart, you know?
He's still having nightmares about it.
So my only other thing to bring up about this is the whole white box, black box thing. Do you care about that?
No, I don't understand the difference. What's the difference between a white and a black box?
So I don't exactly know the dollar figure, but essentially the black box is, I think the black box is supposed to be worth less than the white box. And it's all to do with how many cards you're getting replaced and also the value of the replacement of the card. So they sort of do these boxes in tiers.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's a tiered system, but they probably shouldn't use colors if they're doing tiers, would be my thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah. One for maybe for next week, I did see this. I only just saw this while scrolling through the Facebook group. Capital Cards has also put a question about Beckett Raw card.
Sure.
Beckett Raw card review.
I think I missed that one actually. This? Yeah, let's do that next week.
I'm curious. So we'll do a bit of digging. We'll have a discussion. There's been some activity, some comments.
Yeah.
Just that's what happens. The Facebook group is so active and so busy that some posts just. But we'll get around to there in the end. It's amazing. So the amount of interaction.
Just quickly dipping back to that white box 1 of 1 and black box 1 of 1 thing. I just don't know how many of these 1 of 1 boxes they've made though. Because I find it difficult to believe that they just made one Kahwi Leonard Timeless Moment 1 of 1, particularly when they put them into these like boxes to, you know, fill redemptions. Because these ones in particular, I can't actually tell you. I've seen multiple of them, but the Ja Morant 1 of 1s, I feel like I've seen more than one.
I know that the light blue embossing is the color for a 1 of 1.
You're talking about the Impeccable, aren't you?
The Impeccable, yeah. But that's the only thing that makes it look like a one of one. The timeless moments, there's no way that's a one of one.
Well, because they don't actually put the one of one like stamp in the card. It's a one of one sticker they put onto the card.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they've
Okay.
got like
Yeah,
1,000 of
okay.
those one of one stickers, printed off almost like on a reel. And they're sort of just like,
Because
stick them on.
honestly, before I sign that, if I'm Kawhi Leonard saying I'm posting one of these to Joel Embiid. Yeah.
And I suppose, what I'm also trying to touch on here a little bit too is, how do you value black box one of ones and white box one of ones? Because I suppose I don't value these cards as much as a card that comes out of a product. And I suppose, how do you sort of, price them out?
So, but how do you price them out? It's a one of one, and in 10 years' time, no one's going to see they come out of white boxes and black boxes. They're just going to see a card that's a one of one.
But it hasn't got the actual like one of one logo. It's got a one of one sticker on it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just wonder too, in 10 years' time, how many of these other one of ones have like surfaced? Because it's not like you can hide these from people. People are going to put them out into circulation.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, irregardless of that,
I can put a sticker on any of my niece's artwork and say it's a one of one.
Irregardless of that, it's a really good question. I love the timeless moment, and I think we have to finish off with Lachlan Blunt here because this is just like it's been his show, really. Let's just call it the Lachlan Blunt Show.
That's the name of the episode.
He did an amazing job signing the timeless as well. Made sure to sign on the fans' heads and kept the moment clear. He's exactly right. It's like
literally
it's a perfect card with the perfect autograph. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys.
He should have signed with a thinner texter and written a message to Joel. I'm hating on Philly tonight. Oops.
Look, it's fine. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate your support. Thank you to our sponsor, EJ Cards. Without your support, we wouldn't be where we are today. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for the questions on social media, the likes, the retweets, yada, yada, yada. And thank you to you, Adam.
Yes.
I know you had
thank you, Russell.
Technical issues.
Thank you, Russell. I made it.
You did.
And I will be ready next week.
Yeah.
And fully prepared for maybe some visual antics. Coming soon, watch this space. Okay. Ugly Christmas sweaters and TikToks.
Sounds
now
good,
I put my foot in it. All right. All right, guys. Till next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. We'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.